Yo, what's up, niggas? What it do? What it do? What it do, baby boo? It's your boy. It's your boy, Young H.O. Nigga was calling himself Young Ho. Young H.O.
Nah, he really was calling himself Young Ho.
Young Ho. Yo, it's your boy. It's Young Hope in the building. Yeah. The fuck is up, everybody? Hey! It's cracking the 80s, man. It's cracking the 80s. I'm saying, it's motherfucking cracking the 80s. Hey, welcome back to the show, motherfuckers. Hey! It's cracking the 80s, man. It's a little different intro this week, you know what I mean? The good brother Marz, he's out in Washington again. Biden, he was at the White House with the Warriors. I don't know if they showed that in the footage. They probably ain't get a good angle of the brother, of the homie, you know what I'm saying? But you know, Marz was out there with the Warriors. They went to the White House to go meet with Biden and Kamala and people. Taking care of some good things, because this is going to be a big year for us. Y'all, I don't know if y'all know. So Marz is out there. He's off this week. He's in the street doing some crack in the 80s on the street content, you know what I'm saying? So this week you got me, your boy 5'2". I'm here with my guy Drvgz. What you would do for drugs? You think you got anything? What up, my boy? What's up, bro?
What you gonna do, drugs?
You poured your juice, What would you do for drugs, man? Drvgz, my boy. What's up, my brother?
Man, what up, man? Feeling good. Feeling positive.
Feeling positive.
Woke up on on the right side of the pillow today, so.
The cool side?
Right. Yeah, man. The coolest side.
Oh yeah, that's a good side of the pillow, my boy. I ain't even going front. That's a good side right there. You know, right. you ever had one of them or seen one of them cool activated pillows to where they got like cooling gel in it to where it actually stays cool?
Nah.
They elite, brother. I'm telling you, elite. I tried them one time. No need to get into specifics of how or where I tried it. No need to get into specific, but them shits is elite, bro. It's literally like, let me see what I can compare it to. You know, like those Dr. Scholl insole things for people that have like, you know what I mean, they feet be hurting, so they slide these gel insoles into the shoe. Right. It's like that material, but on the inside of the pillow.
Nah, that's fire.
And it's like cold, it's like gel inside of it that's like cool. So literally the pillow is like ice cold, bro. Not ice cold, but you know what I mean. That shit cool as hell. Cool as a fan. Shit,
I gotta look into that when I get my California King spinning beds.
Oh yeah. Remember water beds? I always wanted a water bed. I don't know why. I just thought them shits look cool, but it's probably.
The funny thing about a water bed, I wanted a water bed until I actually sat on one. I don't remember who place I visited. Maybe it was like my parents, friends, or something. I don't know who. I don't know how, but
whoever it was, they was a freak.
Yeah, but to be honest with you, like if you have anxiety or if you like anxious, I don't think a waterbed is for you.
I don't think a waterbed is for anybody, man. Now, see, I never been on one, and I just said they was a freak, but that was just the stereotype and stigma of waterbeds back in the day. You know what I'm saying? You see a waterbed on TV, it was always synonymous with some freak shit about to happen. You know what I mean? Some nigga about to get into it with his shorty.
Right.
I never understood. I never actually seen a waterbed in person.
Yeah.
And was it actual water in that shit? This might be a dumbass question, but
yeah, bro. Like
water really in that shit?
Yeah, the shit. Yeah.
That's wild, bro.
I think the idea of it is pretty innovative and creative, but when you actually lay it, bro, I don't want to feel like I'm in the water when I'm sleeping.
I'm saying, like, that's innovative for who? That's innovative for some shit in the 90s to where you look at that shit now and it's like, yo, who made that dumbass shit?
Yeah, man.
Who the
Somebody
fuck want to sleep? Who want to sleep
drop
on
some
water?
sharp shit on your shit, and that shit burst. Nigga drown in his sleep.
Nigga drowning in his sleep because the nigga want to
Nigga,
walk around with a needle or something in his pocket.
and it's so funny though because your dream will probably set you up like you on a boat, like you at a party, you on a boat with your homies.
You
You know what I'm saying?
chilling?
Yeah. Then it's a whole tidal wave. And
That
you
shit
take
turns
a
into
boat.
a nightmare
Yeah.
ASAP.
But you actually drown in it.
That shit turned into a James Wan movie immediately. Oh man, but welcome back to the show, y'all. It's cracking the 80s. Chill. We here, man. We got another great episode for y'all. Welcome back to the show. It's your neighborhood's favorite podcast, man. If it's your first time, welcome to the show. Hey, motherfuckers. Hey. I mean, to all my hard of hearing listeners out there, I'm gonna go ahead and hit y'all with the nice sign. The nice sign for hey. What's up, y'all?
It's episode 44, right?
It's episode 44, the fofo, you know what I mean? It's episode 44.
That's crazy. I don't know if if anybody fuck with spirituality, any of the listeners, the number 44 is actually related to achievements, accomplishing goals, putting in hard work, and laying foundation or grounding. So episode 44, you know what I'm saying?
Episode 44, the spiritual episode. The spiritual miracle got the lyrical misfits in the individuals. That's an Eminem bar probably. But welcome back to the show, man. If it's your last time listening to the show, Marz will let you know. Go clear some fucking samples, nigga.
Facts.
Fuck out of here. Get off the train, B. Get off the train. Yo, back door.
Police! Help! Police!
Police. Oh man, shout out to everybody listening. Shout out to the Crack Rock La Familia, the Crack Fam, the Crackheads. Wherever you listening from, go ahead and share this with somebody, man. If you at the gym, if you at work, you in school, you studying, you doing homework, go ahead and share it with somebody right now. Take a chance. Go ahead and hit that share button. Boop. And go ahead and send it to a couple of homies. You know what I mean? Let them indulge in this greatness that we about to present y'all with this week. You know what I mean? Couple cool topics today, man. You fuck with us today. We got a interesting show we've been watching, man. The Last of Us. We talked about it last week. We're gonna talk about it in depth this episode. You know what I mean? In depth, in DEF. You know what I'm saying? We're gonna talk about that shit in depth today. A couple other topics. You know what I mean? J. Cole did some cool shit. We're gonna get into that. A lot of sports news this week. You know what I mean? NFL playoffs is going on right now. My Cowboys, man, I'm proud of them. But we gonna get into all of that, bro. But let's start with your week, my boy. How did your week go this past week, man? This past week around the I was gonna say around the sun, but we don't make it around the sun in a week, so just ignore that. How your week went, my boy?
Uh, it was relaxing, man. It was relaxing. Realization hits me pretty quick. I noticed that uh, as I got older. So, you know,
In
just
what way? Like, what you mean?
I just think in general. I just mean in general.
Okay.
You know, so just been sitting back and I guess kind of reflecting and just like in with the new, out with the old. I guess you could say.
Yeah. I mean, spring cleaning. You know what I mean? Spring cleaning of the mind.
Right.
Yeah, no, that shit is important, bro. Just especially getting older, it's always good to unlearn things. I think that's I'm heavy on that this year. I'm trying to unlearn a lot of things that I might have picked up on subconsciously or consciously as a child or as a youth them. You know what I mean? For all my youth them. Just growing up, we learn a lot of shit. Probably due to hip hop culture or due to our environment. You know what I mean? Coming from the inner city, coming from NY, coming from New York City and shit. Growing up in the five boroughs, we get a different experience on life growing up out there, man. And depending on your environment, the circles you run with, you might start believing in things that in the real world ain't even true. It don't even operate that way. So I'm trying to unlearn a lot of that bullshit that I might have thought was facts, or I might have thought was cool as a kid. That really doesn't mean anything. It actually holds you back. Different mentalities, different, you know what I mean? Bravado type shit. That don't get you anywhere in life, bro. So I'm learning that type of shit. So I feel you on that, man.
Yeah, and it's still, being in it. I
Mm-hmm.
think that's when the challenge comes with it all, because you're still kind of in it or around it, or
Yeah.
surrounded by it, I guess. So you know,
That's part of the unlearning. Because you're still going through it, so you're actually trying to change it.
yeah. But now I just look at it all as like an adventure. Like I look at it kind of everything like an adventure now. Like you know what I'm saying? Because in the end, either way you look at it, there's a goal. There's some sort of goal. There's some sort of gold that you're getting at the end. Like you know what I'm saying?
Yeah. I mean, shit. You would hope so. I mean,
That
that's
gold
the
might lead to the fucking caving in on you. Or that
yeah.
gold might lead to, you know what I mean, you being a king, or you know what I mean, you on your way to being a king, or it might be valuable for you in the future in a way. So yeah, I guess it's just all on how you view things now, or how you take things.
Yeah, it's always about perspective, man. It's always about how your point of view and your reality. You know what I'm saying? Like what works for you. So I feel that. That's what's up though, man. Nice relaxing week. I fuck with relaxation. My week. Let me think about my week as we proceed through this pod.
Hey, where you going, man?
My week. I'm trying to remember what the fuck I did this week or last week. It was pretty interesting, man. Like watched a lot of TV this last week. I had a lot of
Oh,
not time off, but you know what I mean, I just had time to really engage with the content that I really like. You know what I'm saying? I've been on the internet watch a lot of the internet. I'll be watching the internet now. Remember when back in the day you used to go on the internet? Yo, I want to surf the World Wide Web. Now I'll be watching that shit like it's TV too. I mean, through social media, through through the news cycle and shit. I get all my news from the internet. I don't think I've ever turned on a news broadcast in over 5 years, probably more. I was never a news type of guy though. I never watched the news because the
yeah,
news they only gonna show you bullshit on there anyway. But I never watched it to get information. I would always source it on my
either.
own. You know what I'm saying?
I never.
I
Okay,
never
so
got in. I never got into the whole theme of somebody telling me what I should care about. You
I
know what I
think that
mean?
was the
Like,
generations before us, bro.
yeah, you know what I mean? The
They kind of
geezers.
got out,
Yeah,
got tired.
the boomer generation. But you got to think like I don't fault anybody for the era they grew up in because that was all they knew. You know what I mean? They grew up when TVs was new, so
I
the
remember
TV is telling you some shit. You just gonna believe it.
I used to chill with my grandma in her room, and like literally we used to watch shit like the news. Like, and we used to just have random conversations about like topics. We would just bring up random topics out of
Hmm.
like what was going on. And she would just harping back on like older stories, maybe that something that she probably would more relatable to like what happened, and she would just give me a whole, and it would just be like a whole like rabbit hole of like stories, and basically
Yeah,
the news. We would be hours into like we were on to something else, bro. Like,
yeah, nah.
but
It's
it
a
was it
beautiful
was
thing, man. That's a beautiful thing. Having somebody that's been there. You know what I mean? I think we overlook what it means to get older. Like what it means to be a grandma. Not even in terms of mothering and then having your child have a baby. I mean, in terms of getting to that age. You know what I'm saying? Like, you experience life, so you have, even if you aren't the most, you don't have the best education, or you may not have had the most quote unquote successful life that somebody else might consider success. You know what I mean? Your experiences, I think, is success when you get to that age, because you have references for things that might not be around or might still be around. You have experiences on what is the now and what once was. You know what I mean? So you have context to a lot of things. You can have interesting I'm at that age now where I've been doing that like with my parents and shit, because my parents are older, so our generations are like, there's a huge gap in between there. I got older siblings and shit too, but just hearing firsthand information from somebody that's, what I mean, in a big age, it has a lot of value to that shit, because it's like, yo, how can I apply this to what's going on right now in my life? Like, what is the lesson in this? Just having somebody that's been around for a while to just give you insight on the world, or like you say, y'all be watching the news and you might spin off into a whole other topic. That shit is a beautiful thing, man. It's people out here that have no family at all, or have, you know what I mean? Is that's not as they don't have that opportunity to do that type of shit. So anytime it might be a stranger in the street, I might walk by, and anytime I see somebody in the street now, I always make sure I say hello, because you never know. This is just a practice that I've been trying to adapt now. Just, just be nice. I'm a nice dude, but I just make sure I be vocal now when I see people out on the street. You might run into a older person that has some knowledge that you wouldn't even think about. I remember last week, actually, I'm at work, I'm in my truck and shit, I'm chilling, killing time. And it was this white dude in the parking lot of Walgreens. I'm chilling in the parking lot of Walgreens, just like in a random parking spot, chilling, killing time on my phone or whatever. I think I was actually texting my shorty to figure out what we was finna do for the weekend. And there's this white dude in his work truck, older white dude, got to be like in his 60s or some shit, maybe even older. He's fixing his belt buckle and shit. I'm not really paying him no mind. I'm just, he's just there. And I see him get in his truck and he pulls up alongside me. So, being where we come from, I'm on alert now. I'm like, all right, the fuck is going on here? You know what I mean? White man pulling up on me in the truck. This may not end well. But he was pretty cool. You know what I mean? He got out of his truck. He started chopping it up with me. Typically, I probably would have been like, all right, yo, bro, I got to go, and dipped off. But I engaged with him just because he walked up on some positive energy shit. I didn't feel any different. I didn't feel any sense of, you know what I mean, any bad frequencies, any bad vibrations. He was just cool.
You didn't feel like you had to hide your purse.
Hey, word. I didn't feel like I had to clutch my pearls. I didn't think he was going to rob me, or I didn't think he was going to string me up. You know what I mean? This is Texas. I was on alert like, yo, I don't know. Niggas be going missing. I don't be knowing what be happening. But, you know what I'm saying? So, he was cool. It turns out he was like the superintendent for this fucking big construction company, and he was just chopping it up with me. I mean, he gave me his card like, yo, you know what I mean? You need anything, hit me up. Turns out, like, this nigga used to be a musician back in the day. We started talking about music. He was like, hey, I'm going to let you know something. Like, back in the 60s, I think he said 60s. He was like, yo, I was one of the only white men in an he said African-American, in an all African-American band that was signed to Motown. And I was like, yo, what? I make music, bro. Like, that's insane. Like, but that's just a part of the life where I'm living now. I want to engage with strangers and shit. You never know what somebody might have to offer you. You know what I'm saying? And I got his card. I hit him with a text. He was playing country music, you know what I mean? And I don't really fuck with country, but I was just engaging with him, and nigga sent me like a playlist at the end of the day. Like when I sent him a text after work, like, yo, nice meeting you, bro. Let's stay in touch. Means nothing. Whether we stay in touch or not, it don't matter. But I just love to experience that positive human experience nowadays. Because I mean, that shit mean a lot. We out here in this world living amongst other people. We gotta get away from what our culture or what our experiences might teach us. Yo, don't fuck with everybody. Keep these niggas away. Like, I mean, I'm trying to move away from that, because there's people out here that's trying to help or trying to just be a positive influence on society. You never know what you might get from certain people. You know what I'm saying? So shout out to the good brother Don. My man name was Don. Shout out to the OG Don. Don't know anything about this man. He might be a piece of shit, but that experience I had with him was cool. So shout out to the boy. I mean,
Shout out to you, bro.
shout out to that boy. Shout out to that man. I
So,
also go ahead. My bad.
I noticed what you were saying uh, during telling about your week.
Mm-hmm.
I noticed you said something about some new some TV shows. You had
Oh,
some time.
I had a couple of times, man. I've been I started watching this show on Amazon Prime. Is called The Legend of Vox Machina. Animated series. Pretty
That's
good
it.
show, man. I fuck with it. I'm getting into the cause full disclosure, I don't know if anybody has known this about me, anybody listening. I'm really into anime. Not because I don't like it. I just missed the wave of get outside of like Dragon Ball Z, shit like that. Shit like the old school stuff that we grew up on. The newer shows, like what is it? They got One Punch Man, they got Chainsaw Man, they got a bunch of different animes now that I just missed. You know what I mean, I wasn't aware of. So I'm trying to get into that now. Like I call these shits adult cartoons. You know what I mean? Animated series. I don't want to call them cartoons. They animated series. You know what I mean? This is different. This is elegance. This isn't for children. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, it's
But
a
this
whole different world.
it's a different world where there's blood and niggas fucking faces getting torn off. But this Legend of Vox Machina is pretty cool, man. This let me see how I can explain it in 4 sentences or less.
Mm-hmm.
Group of misfit adventurers, you know what I mean? You know how most of these shows is a group of homies or just a group of superheroes or whatever you want to call them. They're a crew and they're going around to different cities. They're trying to make money. You know what I mean? They're just like everybody else out here in the world. They're trying to get some bread. But they trying to get bread doing what they do. They're like, you know what I mean? They fight, they kick ass, they got special powers. So they apply to be mercenaries, you know what I mean? And things unfold as it goes on. They they ended up fighting a fucking dragon. It's mad interesting shit about it. The characters are pretty cool. You got this little short dwarf type dude that reminds me of like Tyrion from House of Dragons. I mean from Game of Thrones. It got a little Game of Thrones influence in there to me, mixed with like a little bit more magic. And of course it's animated, so you can suspend your you can suspend your belief in the type of shit that's happening. It's pretty cool though, man. I fuck with the show. You ever heard of this shit? Legend of Vox Machina?
Bruh. I saw this shit. I think I had to be like earlier on last year.
Oh, so you've seen it already?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. What you
Very,
think? What you
very
think?
ill. Very ill, bro. I'll fuck with
Fire.
it. I've been waiting for the next season.
Yeah, I think the new season just started. It might have started like yesterday or something.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, that's one of them. If you like another Amazon show, Invincible. It's another like animated series for adults. You know what I'm saying? That is actually coming back as well pretty soon, allegedly, according to them. But if you fuck with that type of show, that style of content, you'll fuck with
Invincible's
this.
coming back.
Invincible's coming back, allegedly. Allegedly, they did put out a
What?
new teaser. They put a teaser out. You know what I'm saying? I haven't watched the teaser yet, but apparently they on their way back, man. So I'm excited. But I definitely watched that. But I did watch more of the internet than I watched TV. I'm not gonna lie. Over this last week, I seen I seen that boy Drizzy Drake Aubrey Graham put out the video for Jumbotron shit. Jumbotron shit popping.
Mm-hmm.
He's out
Fire.
here just flexing his fucking riches and his. God damn, I didn't realize how fire that song was. Cause we talked about the Her Loss. This is on off of the Her Loss project with 21 Savage.
I
I
always
didn't
fuck with.
realize Man, I didn't realize how fire that song was until the
Bro,
video
but
came
this
out.
is why I always said, bro, and you know this, we know this. Like uh with art, visually, it always brings a whole nother thing to it. So it's like
Yeah.
the song
Shows
when
you
you
the
hear the
other
song is
side.
fire, it'd probably be cool. But once you're not, especially if you're not in that, you know, well, how should I say it? It's like you're not in that environment, or you're not in, I guess, in that mood, or however, for that song to hit you a certain way.
Yeah, that's important because music is dependent on like your mood and when you listen to it, where you listen to it, the system you listen on, like all of that shit it contributes to how you interpret music nowadays. For me,
Right. When you drop that visual, depending on how that visual is, and sometimes for certain songs, the visual don't even be spot on. It be kind of ass. But it's like just the fact that you put that visual was just put there. It's like it helps.
it bridges. It's a because when it comes to creativity, that's how I operate. Me, my creative, I need to see shit visually. But you know, I make beats. I'm a music nigga as well, so I look at the music video and the concept as the bridge between audio and visual. Of course, that's what it is by definition. But when it's done right, you get another aspect, another element from the song you might have been listening to that you didn't get from just hearing it. You know what I mean? You've visually seen it now, so
Mhm.
it applies a little bit better. You know what I mean? Like you could actually take more from it. So this jumbo shit popping video, man. It's he got everybody in there. You know how Drake be doing his videos now, where it's just his life. That video, this is the flex. The video starts with this is a 72 hours for us. This is 72 hours for us. You know what I mean? Which is 3 days, but it's a flex to me because he could have said, yo, this happened in 3 days, or this is what 3 days for us looks like. He didn't even do that. He said, yo, he's living his life in hours, bro. He's not even paying attention to what day it is. He's like, yo, these are just these last 72 hours what we did. That's some fly shit, bro. Like, I don't even think if people that's the first thing you see in the video, bro. Like it's text.
Nah,
That's
that's for
legendary
real.
shit. I
Yeah,
mean,
that's
he got Mike Tyson in the video. He dapping Mike Tyson up. He got my nigga Central C in the video. How can I be homophobic? My bitch is gay. Shut up.
mm-hmm.
He got Yachty in the video. This Yachty Drake relationship that they have it was unforeseen for me, like in the future. I mean, in the past. But I actually like that they fuck with each other. It's just like a friendship that you were like, huh? How did that even start? But shout out to them niggas, man. I appreciate that. But it was one thing that I seen in this video, bro, that made me realize Drake is that dude.
That Babe crew neck. Mm-hmm.
The babe crew
Mm-hmm.
neck, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
But also, my man was wearing Pharrell's jewelry.
Oh yeah, that too.
The Babe crew neck actually goes in line with him wearing Pharrell shit. Now I
Yeah,
mean,
yeah, yeah.
Pharrell actually was the artist or the person. I don't even want to say this artist because he was bigger than the artist when this shit happened. He popularized Bape for the hip hop community for sure. Now, I mean, niggas try to attribute it to Lil Wayne, which it might be, but if you really know, Lil Wayne got the swag from Currency, and you know, I mean, it's a whole cycle. But for the most part, the masses, Pharrell was the first nigga that we seen rocking Bape, and we thought that shit was cool and we wanted to do it. You know what I mean? So for Drizzy, for Mr. Arbery, for him to come in his video rocking straight Bape shit, he had on a Bape fucking fire ass jacket, that black and blue OG. He had, and this is all OG shit he had on too. This ain't no new Bape. He had on vintage pieces, which made it even more like, oh shit, I ain't seen that in a minute.
Yeah,
But
whole
then,
fit.
yeah, now the whole fit was heat, bro. Heat.
Crazy.
But this is the thing that for me, you know what I mean? I be on my investigative shit. I go a little bit deeper than the casual might go in this shit. Like I said, he started off the video flexing, saying this is what 72 hours looks like for us. and they show all this extravagant shit. He meeting different people, he kicking it with different people. But he's wearing Pharrell's jewelry. I made it a point to mention that earlier. And then I was listening to Drake music over the week after I seen the video. Just happened to be listening to that song Omerta. I don't even know if that's what it's called, but it's Omerta. You know that song that came out 2019. He put it out with that 2-pack. I think Money in the Grave with Rick Ross was on that shit too. You remember that song?
Yeah, I remember that. That shit fire.
This was a song that came out the year after him and Pusha T was in their little beef, you know what I mean? They little back and forth. So I got to thinking, I'm like, okay, I'm listening to that song, and just so happens he got a line in that song where he's like, yo, last year niggas really feel like they rode on me. Last year niggas got hot because they told on me. I'm about to call the bluff of anybody that fold on me. I'm buying the building of every door that closed on me. And I'm like, all right, Drake spitting that shit. But if you know Drake for the artist that he is, you know all of his lines are meticulous and calculated, right? He ain't just saying shit. He got another line in that same record. He goes, borderline dangerous, approach with caution. I plan to buy your most personal belongings when they up for auction. Man, truth be told, I think about it often. The petty king, the overseer of many things. And I was like, hold on here. Then I went back and watched that Jumbo Shit Poppin' video. Jumbotron Shit Poppin'. And I'm like, holy shit. This nigga Drake is in the future. It took 4 years for these lyrics to come to fruition. And if you don't know what I'm talking about, the reason why he's wearing Pharrell's jewelry and he got all his shit is because Pharrell had an auction. He had an auction off his jewelry recently. Drake bought that shit for $3 million. He bought all of that shit for $3 million. Like couple of pieces of golden PSP. Anybody see a gold PSP, they attribute that shit to Pharrell off the rip. Because we seen the videos and the pictures back in the day of Pharrell having this shit. And I was just like, yo, Drake is not to be fucked with, man. Drake is not to be fucked with, bro. Pusha T, for those of y'all that hasn't connected it yet, Pusha T came up underneath Pharrell. You know what I mean? Pharrell with the Clips and the Neptunes from Virginia, that whole circle, they all connected. They came up together. You know what I mean? Pharrell, Chad was making they beats and linked up with the Clips, and they took off. So throughout history, Pusha T is considered underneath Pharrell just because they kind of put him on. Pusha beef with Drake. And then in that same the Jumbotron Shit Poppin' video, Drake goes on to say, who wants smoke? Okay, cool. It's they whole camp. Big shit, Papa, we the ones who get your shirt damp. Who wants smoke? Okay, cool. It's like, yo, this nigga is beefing on another level, bro. He's taking this shit past the surface. This shit probably goes unnoticed to 95% of the casual listeners and casual viewers of music, but to me, to us, to our listeners, I want y'all to know, cracking the 80s, Drake is not to be messed with, man. Leave that man alone. Leave him alone.
Yeah, that man dominant, man.
Leave him alone, son. He could do all of his fucking his kissy lips and his pictures on the gram, and you want to call him names. It don't matter. It don't matter. Leave him alone. He could do all of that because this is how meticulous this man is. Like, you might try to diss him in a comment right now because he put up a kissy face. 3 years down the line, you might get married. Your bitch might have been fucking with Drake, and he might let you know that shit. So you niggas better relax and chill out. Leave that man alone, man. Like, leave him alone.
That nigga is Kingpin and Daredevil.
Word, bro. Like, leave that man alone.
Nigga has achieved. Nigga is just watching over the world. Nigga achieved that
status.
Yeah.
He got you remember how Papoose said he got the world in his hands on that Touch It remix? That's Drizzy right now.
Pap really had the world in his hands at that point, though. That's crazy.
Oh man, R.I.P. K. Slay, the Drama King. And look, Drake, another thing Drake did, shouted out the Drama King once he passed on a big record. You know what I mean? Like, which probably led to the creation of this Her Loss album. You know what I mean? That song was Jimmy Cooks on his Honestly Nevermind with 21. Look, we got a whole project for them niggas, and on that record, he shouted out the Drama King. So I mean, goddamn, look at how it all comes around, bro. crazy.
Shout out to
And
Drizzy.
in short, just leave that man alone, man. Just leave him alone.
Yeah,
Leave him
I
alone.
mean, I think you know, everyone in that world already knows, you know.
Meek
But
got
it's like
mad
the
because he
egos.
went at him.
The ego, yeah. The ego, the ego is your pride and all that gets in the way. You end up saying something or doing something stupid, and then you realize it's just not that time anymore, man. It's like,
Realize I fucked up.
yeah, it's not. This is not that time anymore. Like, hey, certain
Great.
things, certain things. Okay, being in that realm, I guess, entertainment, you're already in the public eye. Everything you do is already like magnified times 6,000. So now, depending on who you are, your status while you're in that realm, that is even more. So now it's like, uh, I guess it's just all on, how you move.
Yeah. Stay to yourself, man. Seems like in hip hop and music, you gotta just stay to your fucking self, bro. Do
Yeah.
what Kendrick does, man. Don't bother nobody. Make your shit and go. Know what I mean? Make your shit and go, man. We knew from early on that Kendrick was on that type of shit. And it's a testament to how you should move, because we see where he's at now. Kendrick, you know what I mean, on that Control verse years ago, everybody wanted to come out and respond and do all of this shit. Kendrick dropped the record and went about his business. Didn't respond to nobody, which didn't create any other storylines off of just this song. He kept it straight music. You start responding and getting on the internet and giving takes and responding to this guy and saying what this guy should do. It gives legs to shit that don't even matter. Like, the song was what the song was. He said what he said. He kept it moving. You know what I mean? That's seems like that's how you should be fucking moving out here. I
Mm.
mean, speaking of, since we on the greats, you know what I mean? Kendrick, Drvgz, J. Cole. J. Cole made his presence known recently as well. He surprised fans with the release of a new song titled "Procrastination Broke." But first of all, did you hear the song, my brother?
Wait, what song?
The new J. Cole shit that he just dropped, "Procrastination."
Bro, I've been meaning to get around to it. Just haven't.
Yeah, man. It's a J. Cole song. You know what I mean? He gets personal
I
on
want to
there.
hear it.
It's really well. It's it's pretty cool, bro. But the song is not. The song is what it is. It's J. Cole. You know what I mean? It's a Lucy, but it's really the story that was interesting to me. I thought it was just pretty cool. And another example and testament to J. Cole's is being a real down to earth dude. You know what I mean? Being for his fans and being for the regular guy. You know what I mean? So Dre, this nigga J. Cole put this song out, but the way he created it, he went on YouTube, typed in J. Cole type beat, which you know is the common thing now with for artists trying to make songs or looking for beats on YouTube. They put the artist of the style of music that they're trying to emulate and put type beat at the end. Type beat culture is like an actual thing on YouTube. You can find anybody, insert blank artist name, type beat, and you'll find a list of beats that are supposedly fit this artist style. So
By the way, I do believe a lot of these producers, get contacted by actual, labels and artists for their beats and shit.
oh yeah, for sure. That's a thing. Like after seeing this story, I thought to myself, I'm like, yo, I should get back. And I was really successful when I was putting beats on there, but I ended up falling off my square off of some hater shit, which is another story.
Right.
So I ended up I stopped doing it, but I was having like minor success when I was doing that. And a lot of people fearful. I don't want my beat to get stolen if I put it out there. It's like, bro, at that point, you can't be so precious with the art. But anyway, getting back to this J. Cole shit, the story goes, he went on YouTube, typed in J. Cole type beat, and he got directed to this producer's channel. Producer that, up and coming, really popular on YouTube, Beat Stars, all the platforms. His name is Batman. J. Cole took the beat, made a record to it, which is this record, Procrastination,
What?
and sent it to homie. You know what I mean? He sent it
That's
to
the
bro.
story?
That's the story, bro. He made the record and sent it to bro. And I got a whole text right here. He goes, yo, and this is through Batman, the producer Batman. He said he randomly was driving on a highway. He received a text from Ebe. Ebe, J. Cole's the co-founder of Dreamville, his manager. Everybody know Ebe. If you fuck with Dreamville, you know Ebe, Boss's brother. Shout out to Boss. Bossy, the Fiends, Queens. You know what I mean? But word. So homie was driving. He got a text and it said, I quote, this is from J. Cole. He goes, this song should live on your channel and serve as a thank you to you and every producer out here cooking up and sharing their work with the world. It's a million artists out there right now just like me, hungry and searching every day for something to spark a word, a melody, a hook, a verse, a punchline, a way to vent, or a way to cut through. On a day when I couldn't find much motivation, I was looking for anything to inspire me. Out of curiosity, I typed in J. Cole type beat in YouTube. Yours was the first I saw. I pressed play, focused, and wrote this. This is some shit that would normally stay in the vault, but I don't want to hold on to music like that anymore. This is for you and whoever else needs to hear it. God bless, bro, and keep doing what you do. End quote. God damn, man. That nigga J. Cole is the man.
That nigga's the GOAT, nigga.
The man, bro. Like the GOAT. The man, like, he is that dude, bro. This is why we fuck with him.
That's hard as fuck. That's hard.
This is what he built his career off of, bro. Like,
that's hard, bro. That's
think
hard.
about that, bro. He changed bros, and like I said, homie was already successful in his own right. Homie could claim success if he want. He's got his beats on YouTube, like he's probably making money, but everybody has their own meaning, meaning of success. He's made this nigga's life successful in an instant. Boom. Just
and
like
he could have
that.
went other ways with having that song too. Like, you know what I'm saying? He could have probably, I don't know, maybe sold it somehow, or got it on some sort of platform. The nigga put it on YouTube. The nigga just dropped it.
He didn't even put it on YouTube, bro. Like, he could have put the song out himself. And the nigga, the producer would have got credit that way, but he said, no, bro. I'm going to give you the song, and I want you to upload it to your channel.
I'm saying.
You get all the praises for this shit. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
you get all the monetization.
That's hard, bro. Nah,
that's a real
hard,
person, bro. That's real. And what I was saying, like, with people, producers, and people out there scared, I don't want nobody to take my shit. It's like, bro, you got to look at this another way. Yeah, if they take your shit, it's gone, but that means two things happen. One, they found it, so it's getting out there. If they found it, other people found it too. And your shit's good. It's just a testament to prove that you're actually talented. Like, a lot of people that's in creative fields, we all deal with it. You know what I mean? We get imposter syndrome sometimes. We'll be doing some shit and it's going successful, it's working, and we like, yo, damn, I can't believe, like, it's working. So with that idea, we get real precious with our work. We don't want to put it out for reasons like that. We don't want nobody to steal it, or I don't want nobody to do this. But you put it out there to the world, you got to understand that it now belongs to the world. You got to keep moving on and keep making shit happen. And you might end up with J. Cole sending you a text saying, hey, bro, I need you to put this on your YouTube. It's lit. I just thought that shit was fire, bro. That shit was amazing, man. That shit was amazing. Shout out to Cole, shout out to Eve, shout out to Queens, shout out to the producer Batman. Congrats, bro.
Yo, Cole, if you hearing this, man, we need a song for an intro. Maybe drop some bars for an intro. Please.
All right, man.
Love you.
Hit us
Love
up.
you.
We love you, bro. Hit us up, man. I'd appreciate waking up to a text from J. Cole saying, "Hey, bro, I'm about to change your life. Upload this."
Word.
That's what's up, man. That's what's up. That's what's up, bro. Shout out to J. Cole. And y'all stop fucking with Drake, man. Leave that man alone. Oh man, leave that man alone, bro. Let's see. We could go two ways from this. We could get into the TV and movies right now, or we could talk about a little sports topic that really isn't about sports, but it's just highlighted. Hey, look how it come around though. It's highlighted through sports.
So,
What you think? You want to just hit this topic real quick before we get into the movies and shit, TV shows?
oh,
All right, so this topic is pretty interesting. You know what I mean? Shout out to Mark, producer of the show. He sent me this early on in the game, probably like before. I think this is probably before Austin Rivers even went ahead and had his conversation online. But Austin Rivers took to his social media. I don't know where he was. It looked like he was streaming somewhere. But there's a video. I'm gonna insert it right here. Um, he's on there talking about how he believes the highlight culture in the NBA specifically is ruining the game of basketball. It's ruining basketball culture.
right.
And when I first seen that, I was like, yo, I get it, but I didn't really have much context. I didn't understand. Like, I understood, but I didn't really see where he was coming from with it. He was saying, in the era of basketball where he was coming up, because, you know, Austin Rivers is the son of Doc Rivers. He actually played underneath his dad. Like, his dad coached him and shit. He's a basketball player through and through, you know what I mean? Like, from his childhood to now, his life was basketball. So you can understand why he has this take. He was basically saying, yo, in his age of coming up, playing ball, hooping and shit, the only way you even got a highlight tape or highlights in general, you had to be that dude. You know what I mean? You had to be really balling to where these platforms that were making the highlight tapes approached your parents, and wanted to feature you on their platform. You know what I mean? I.e. the Ball is Life, all these platforms and shit. He went on to say he thinks in the era that we live in now with TikTok, Instagram Reels, Instagram, YouTube and shit, that highlight culture is ruining what the actual game of basketball is now, because everyone nowadays, they got highlights. All it takes is you to have your iPhone and put a bunch of clips together. Now you got a highlight tape, which back then having a highlight tape meant you were definitely going to get scouted at least. You were going to go to the league. You having that tape was an indicator of, yo, this player is a dog. You know what I mean? He got that dog in
Oh,
him.
yeah. I mean,
Everybody just didn't get a highlight tape. You know what I mean?
everybody agrees.
Everybody agrees.
Yeah, everybody agrees.
You have to be that dude.
There's no way. Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah. And I mean, and he also he also made it known that even though this was a thing, you had to be that dude to get the highlight tape, they weren't playing to have one. You know what I mean? It was just a reward for being great at that point. They weren't playing trying to do moves and trying to showboat because they knew the camera was on them. They were just hooping. So,
And it was almost like, I think in some cases you didn't even know.
word.
You
You
come up
didn't
to,
know.
yeah, you lace up, put your shit on, you get on the court, and the cameras is there.
You was cooking the nigga up, and at the
Introducing.
end of the game,
Right.
word, you cooking a nigga up, and at the end of the game, somebody like, yo, we want to feature you on our platform. You know what I'm saying? Like that was how that shit went. So nowadays you can make your own highlights. You got platforms like House of Highlights that was birthed this way from this culture of highlights. You know what I mean? And then I seen a video of some little kids playing basketball, like a league that they had set up. And I realized it gave more context to what my man Austin Rivers was saying. You watch the video, and we'll put it on like all our socials so you guys can see it. But you watch the video, and it's like little kids. They probably no older than like 10 years old, maybe even younger. Probably like 10. I give them like 10, 11. They're hooping, but they're there, and every move they do, they can make a little layup. They showing off. They doing all the moves that the pros do. You know what I mean? They putting finger guns to their head when they hit a three. They saying niggas is little if they hit a little layup, which is cool. I mean, this kids being kids. But you can see the switch in the game of basketball itself. To them, that's what it is. I gotta showboat. I gotta make sure people know who I am. Which I can see how someone like Austin Rivers that grew up real a formal way of playing the game, and you know what I mean, the learning the ins and outs, learning the all of the skills, you know what I mean. To him, I can see how that could be distasteful to a player like that. So it's just been talk within the NBA, and it's just a testament to just the how society operates nowadays. You know what I mean? We live in this microwave era where everything is fast, everything is happening real quick. I need 6 seconds to see if I'm interested in some shit. That along with society's obsession with celebrity and wanting to be famous, I think this is where Austin Rivers is really more trying to make his point. Like people are playing basketball now not because they love the sport, or maybe because they love the sport, but there's another added incentive of oh yo, this shit can make me popping and make me famous and popular. Not because I'm good, but because people like my clips. So you know, it's been different players out there having their takes on how they feel about the situation. Kyle Kuzma tweeted, "Highlight culture absolutely killed the game of basketball. The nuance is lost." You got people like Evan Fournier saying, "Shaking my head. We need to be better. We need to set a better example for this new generation, man." But then you got the other side, players that like KD, who are fucking superstars, saying, "Man," and this is all in reference to the video of these little kids celebrating and shit. He goes, "As a kid, I remember what we did. As a kid, I remember we did what we saw the pros do. Good shit, little homie." So I think all of this is is probably geared toward the middle. It's not as far as it's terrible, and it's not as far as like it should be this way. I think it's always like everything is a little bit more in the middle. You know what I mean? They never. It's a good saying. You're never as bad as they say you are. You're never as good as they say you are. You're always in the middle. You know what I'm saying? So I want to
Yeah,
think. What do you think about that, bro? Like, cause I definitely agree with Austin Rivers, but it's putting you in the light of being like that old hater nigga. Like, you know, when generations get older,
I think
back in my day.
I think I think well, I can't say he's wrong, and I do agree in some way. I do think he's right. But um, yeah, I don't know, man.
It's interesting, man, because I mean, he's making a really good point, but I don't know if the point is like a good or a bad thing. I think it's just it is, but it is like we have seen a switch in how basketball is played and how it is how people view the game now. You know what I'm saying? We got the John Moran era where everything is a highlight. He banging on niggas every day. He got a new bang, a new clip of him dunking on somebody. But then where it gets to the other level is he takes to his social media afterwards to be like, "Yo, jump with me if you want to go viral." And I mean, he makes it an internet thing as well. So
But
now
you
it's
know,
not.
I think not to cut you off, bro. I'm sorry. I think it's just one of those things where it's new. It's new to the culture, um, and it's one of those things where niggas just gonna have to adapt.
Yep, exactly.
Uh, because I don't think Don't get me wrong. You gonna get some sort of clout and whatever you gonna get for putting some highlights up, but you're never gonna overshadow, or you're not gonna. You know what I'm saying? Like a scout ain't really going. Don't get me wrong. He might see your video before being introduced to his game or in some sort of way, but if you really out there looking for talent, or watching the game even, and you a fan of the sport, you're gonna know who the real guys are. So,
Yeah.
that's I guess that's cool and fun for the guys who are doing it just to do it, I guess. But Yeah, it does take away, I guess, from like the quality.
Yeah, the quality of the sport.
Yeah.
I'm still torn because I'm like, I don't know if I'm sounding too much like an old hater or if
I
it's
don't,
some validity to it.
I don't, man, all that sounding washed, hater. I don't know nothing about that shit, bro. Everybody's entitled to their own opinion. Um,
Facts though.
Nobody's saying anything like a 100% negative or that's like detrimental to anybody. Like it's not. I don't think it's that serious.
Yeah, and I'm about to say, just like everything, it's not even that deep. It's like at the end of the day, it is just basketball. So, but this is the cool thing that I did see that I appreciate too. There are a lot of basketball players and athletes just through social media that can make platforms for themselves, even if
Mm.
they don't make it to the league. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's a lot of people on Instagram that have followers and followings that aren't even like professional basketball players. They just a guy that shoots in the gym and he's legit. And he got a platform because he don't miss jump shots. You know what I'm
There's
saying?
guys, yeah, like there's guys that I know, ran away or once knew, like, they got some sort of following from playing ball, but they didn't go nowhere with it. Like they were never that good or, good enough to even get anywhere with it. But, you know, they're somehow they got that following or that clout for having whatever sort of talent or, however they displayed that to the people.
I thought that shit was pretty cool though, man. Shout out to anybody that's trying to get to the NBA and that's in the NBA right now, man. Pretty good fucking season this year too, so I'm excited.
Yes, sir.
Excited. Let's get into The Last of Us, man. I think it's that time, my boy.
Oh man.
I think it's that time, man. The Last of Us. And I'm mad. I wish Marz was here for the topic because if you're a long time listener, first time listener, you heard Marz promoting this shit back when he was talking about playing the video game. You know, they made the remake to the original for the PS5. He
Yeah.
came on here raving about it, and then he let us know, yo, they making this shit into a series. This was a while ago, and I mean, this is early on when we started the pod. So full circle, the actual series is on HBO now. The Last of Us.
Mm-hmm.
Let's get into it, my boy. Where you want to start? From the beginning? The open. I mean, I watched it twice, so I got context
I guess we could,
and
uh, yeah, start from the beginning. Why not?
all right. So, like I said, I wish Mars was here because he could give us a little bit more insight. But when he comes back next week after he finished with Biden, and we'll get a little bit more insight from him because he actually played the game, so he knows a little bit extra than we might know. But you know what I mean? Of course, Last of Us starts. I paid attention to all the dates and shit. It starts 1968. You know what I mean? It's starting with a bunch of scientists on this. Looks like a talk show type thing. Looks like it's supposed to be Jimmy Carson type, like a type show. Look like it's supposed to be Carson or something like that. So they sitting there, they discussing they discussing science stuff. They discussing potential pandemics, and they start getting into this new virus that's in Madagascar. You know what I mean? It takes over the host. Is like a parasite. It takes over the no. It's actually a fungi. He says because they start comparing like what could actually host in humans. And he was like, yo, it's a fungi, it takes control of the mind. He gives the example of an ant, and the other guy was like, well, humans, it's impossible for it to be a thing for humans because the host can't exist over like 94 degrees. Then he's like, yeah, but what if it adapts? What if the earth starts getting warmer and the fungi is forced to adapt? So this is nice foreshadowing for us to know. And like I said, not knowing playing the game, not knowing if they give you this insight before you even play the game to know this, it was definitely good to understand that at the beginning. You know what I mean? Just knowing, yo, this is a possibility of like, yo, this is a pandemic that could happen. Could be this fungi that could adapt to humans. And how it works is the parasite gets into your brain. It controls you. It doesn't aim to kill you. It aims to control. And after time, because of the way it operates, it starts eating away at your flesh, and it becomes eventually you turn into the ant, but it's really just controlling you. So you're a zombie at this point. You know what I'm saying? So
All right.
cuts from there. Boom. Fast forward. It goes to 2003 now. I mean, and then I thought this was very important, and feel free to jump in anywhere, bro, with whatever like type shit, because I
Oh,
got
yeah.
I got notes and shit. But at this point, it's important. They show us next scene immediately when it goes to that present day, 2003. We're following this story from the point of view of the daughter. You know what I mean? The daughter is the person who we see first. It shows her waking up out of bed. The alarm goes off. She goes to wake her dad up, Joel. You know what I mean? So now we're following the story based off of the daughter and the father now. You know what I mean? They're typical family shit. She wakes up. She's making breakfast for the both of them. Uh, Hold on real quick. Or she's making breakfast for the both of them. And I'll probably get into this shit after. Well, actually, I'll get to that point afterward. But they doing the regular family shit. The brother comes over, her uncle, and they're just living a regular family life. It appears, but in the background, you notice on the news they're talking about there's a continued disturbances in Dakar, and they're like Dakar, and then you find out, oh, this is the capital of Indonesia, but it really has no context of what this story is telling. You're just hearing news reports on the background. It's the dad's birthday, Joel. They call him Joel, but anytime I see Joel, I think it's Joel. So I'm just gonna say Joel. Cause I don't know about no Joel. That shit is this nigga name is Joel, bro. But it's his birthday, so the daughter is telling him, "Hey man, she want to make pancakes for his birthday, but they ain't got no pancake batter. They ain't got no flour." And then they're sitting there eating breakfast now. The brother comes in. He's like, "Hey, you're still alive, you old fucker." I thought that was a fucking funny ass way for siblings to tell each other happy birthday. Hey, you still alive, you old bitch. That shit was funny as hell. So, they work together. They got some kind of company. It looks like they do construction. And, fast forward a little bit more. They finish breakfast. They're getting ready to leave. And this is the instance where we see other characters introduced. You know what I mean? They got the neighbors, some old people. The daughter starts, they start talking it up with the neighbors and shit. The neighbors like, oh, yeah, like, you guys can come over to have biscuits. We made biscuits. And then, this is a little banter. It ain't much there yet. You see, as the car pulls off, you see an Operation Desert Storm sticker on the bumper and shit. So you're like, oh, shit, this nigga was in the army. So you piecing the story together as it's going on. You know what I'm saying? For me, who first time, I don't know much about the story. I ain't played the game. This is shit I'm picking up on. Like, all right, why are they telling us that? Why are they making this shit known? So, she's in school now. It shows the daughter in school. And I think it's important that they're showing everything from her perspective. Remember that. That shit is like key to how this episode plays out. They're giving us everything from her point of view, which is, you know what I mean? You gain a familiarity with this character. They're telling it from her point of view. So you get attached. You know what I mean? Like subconsciously. You don't know, but you're following this character. You get attached. You know what I'm saying? So she's in school. And I forget what happens, but she ends up leaving school and she's going to this watch shop to pick up a watch for her dad's birthday. It's like a watch that he had already, apparently, and she's wanting to get it fixed. She takes it there, and immediately this is where the shit start picking up. You start realizing, all right, shit about to go down. You know what I mean? She's in there, the shop owner's there, he's talking to her, he's fixing the watch. And then out of nowhere, you're still hearing news stories going on in the background. You're hearing news. You're seeing cops flying by the outside and shit. So then, I don't know if this is his wife or whoever. It appears to be his wife. And you see her come in panicking, like, yo, you should go home, little girl. And she's like, yo, wait, I'm waiting on my watch. And the husband is still like, yo, the watch is almost done. I'm almost finished. And she's like, no, you need to go. You need to get up out of here. So he finishes the watch and gives it to her. And this is a point that I missed at the beginning, but when I watched it the second time, those people were from Lebanon, from Lebanon. Like that shop, it was like a Lebanese owners. So for me, I'm like, all right, I'm not I don't know geography or nothing like that, but I'm like, okay, Dakar, Indonesia, Lebanon, I could be ignorant, and please, I didn't do the research to look geographically, but I'm assuming that these are places near each other. So this is indicating she got the news early. You know what I mean? She got this news early. So little girl, she leaves. You know what I mean? She leaves the crib. And then now she stops by the neighbor's crib after school, like she said she would. The dad told her, yeah, she's coming over after school. So they're there. She goes, and the neighbor's making cookies and banter, blah blah blah. She's making biscuits on some old lady being nice. Oh, you want some dog? You want some this? You want some that? But then we get the first indicator of the older woman in the wheelchair. She's like bugging out. You know what I mean? The background is blurred out. They don't really
She's not
show it.
even. Yeah, but yeah. Like when she's looking at her, she's regular. Like she's just sitting there. Like
Yeah, she's just chilling. And the lady is like, she's in a wheelchair, so she's not really mobile. So they're giving you the perception of like, this is a really old woman who needs to be taken care of. I mean, earlier on they showing people feeding her and shit. So they showing like, all right, she don't really move on her own.
she ain't saying nothing.
Nothing. But go ahead on that. She's sitting there. We see in the background she's blurred, but you see her kind of like tweaking. She moving
Tweaking,
funny,
bro.
like her head and like mad. Like you like, all right, something is up.
Like her face was like warping or something. Like what? Like she was turning into something. Like
Mm-hmm. And then we see the dog. You know what I mean? The dog is looking at her like, yo, bitch, what the fuck? I seen that shit you just did. What the fuck is going on with you? You know, animals are
yeah,
always the first to pick up on shit. You know what I mean?
hell yeah.
And you know what I mean? In the news, of course, we get more news in the background. News reports about random acts of violence that's just happening. You know what I mean? Random acts of violence that's just popping up all over the world. Like, what the fuck? And then shit hits the fan. You know what I mean? She goes home. And what happens? I believe she goes home. The dad comes back from work real late, super late. And she's like, oh, I thought you were going to be here earlier. It's your birthday. And he's like, yeah, I know. Like, we could watch the show that we like to watch. So they sit down and watching the show. She falls asleep. Still news going on in the back. You know what I mean? Mad news going on in the back. She falls asleep. He puts her in the bed. And this is where the shit really kicks off. She falls asleep. And mind you, they're telling the story from her point of view. So she wakes up. And shit is just eerie now. She's hearing I forget what wakes her up. If it's like the dog barking. But shit hits the fan at this point. She wakes up. There's nobody in the crib. Oh, wait. I don't even think the dad came home yet. I forget what happens. But she goes to sleep and wakes up. And the dad isn't. Oh, this is what happens. Okay. I remember. As they're watching the movie and she falls asleep, the brother calls him like, hey, man, I'm in jail. You got to come get me. And Joel's like, what the fuck, bro? Why you in jail? He's telling him like, yo, bro, I was at a bar, some nigga started bugging out, and he started wilding on the bartender, so I had to put him out. Like, I had to knock this nigga out. I had to put him down, bro. So that's how he ends up in jail, and that's how Joel ends up leaving the crib again. He goes to go get his brother. She wakes up, and shit is hitting the fan now. The neighbor's dog is there, banging, like, scratching on the window. And she's oblivious. She's walking around like, oh my God, what's going on? Huh? Like, bitch, don't you see, like, something is up? It's fucking going down outside. Have some fucking awareness. So she goes outside, starts wandering around. She sees the dog belongs to the neighbor. The dog is outside, just wanting to be around her. So she walks over to the neighbor's crib, and what do you see? Blood all over the floor and shit. Then you see the old lady who was tweaking. She's fucking eating the fucking face. She's eating the face of the woman that was there. Like, I don't know if it was her daughter, but she's eating that bitch's face, boy.
The bitch was sucking her face.
Bro, literally, bro. She had fucking ligaments and tendons in her mouth and shit. It was crazy.
And what the girl do? She sat there and looked at her.
She walks in more. She's like, huh?
Yeah.
Oh my God. And then, even more so, the old lady starts like about to charge her. She gets up, looks over at her, and starts running at the little girl. And the little girl is still like, yo, what do I do?
Ain't much urgency kick in yet. They ain't no adrenaline, nothing. She was just sitting there.
Crazy, bro. And
that part was hilarious.
Hilarious, bro. It's just like, yo, what they wrote this girl's character to be an idiot. But
Apparently.
You know, fast forward, the dad comes back as this is happening, and the little as the old lady is charging the little girl, the dad pops her in the face with like a wrench. And what the fuck does she say? Oh my god, you killed her. It's like,
Yeah.
yo, bitch, did you not see her sprinting towards you covered in blood after she just ate a nigga face? What you mean I killed her? I'd kill her again if I had a chance. Fuck you mean?
Have
Oh
you
my
seen-
god, you killed her. Bitch. That shit pissed me off both times I watched it, bro. Oh my god, you killed her. Oh man. So now they going through which they going through, they in the car, they showing you the first person point of view, and this is where it gets cool. As I was watching and as like it aired and all the content came out afterward, it was showing like I seen a bunch of like side by side comparisons of the video game and the show of like perfectly split images of what it was supposed to look like. Even the way the camera was moving, you know what I mean? It was just amazing, bro. That shit was fire.
Yeah, that shit looked like uh the movie for the Doom game.
Word with the Rock.
Yeah. That shit
Yeah,
reminded me of that.
definitely. That first person, like it looks like you're playing a video game, but
Yeah.
yeah, that shit was heat. So they going through now. They realize there's some shit going on, like panic in the streets. Fucking old women are eating people's faces. They know something is up at this point, so they trying to get out of the fucking town. Let's get the fuck up out of here. So
Hmm.
they get to a certain area. They realize, oh shit, it's people in the street. We can't run them over. We got to get up out of here. So they start backing up. They go to another way. And as they're trying to get away from these people and they're not trying to run them over, you just see a chopper fly over and it starts shooting missiles, boy. Bang, 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 bang. It was bombs over Baghdad, my boy. Like,
Yeah.
they started fucking shit up. So now they panic and they driving, trying to get on the road, and they realize, damn, this is everybody's trying to leave. So it's traffic now. They end up off the road now because they in a pickup truck. They off road in the grass. Fast forward, they end up crashing. They end up out of the vehicle because they exploded or some shit. All of this is just amazing, man. Cinematography is amazing. Like the writing is great. Outside of Shorty saying, "Oh my God, you killed her." Everything is good, and this is the point where this shit get, like I was saying, it's interesting that they gave you the point of view of this little girl and made you build familiarity and gain like, what I mean, you started to like her just because this is the only person you were seeing. So now we got a scenario where it's the dad and the little girl. She sprained her ankle, so she can't walk. He's carrying her, trying to get out of Dodge, and they run into like this military guy. I don't know what they're called. I don't know the name because they might have mentioned it, but I didn't pick up on it. That's why I wish Nerd was here. He could have probably told us. But anyway, he's basically like, "Yo, stop right there. Where the fuck are you going?" And they're trying to tell him, "Yo, we're not sick. We're not zombies. Like we're okay. We didn't get bitten. We're all right. We're regular. We just need help." So on the radio, you hear him saying, "Yo, I got two. One is injured. You know what I mean? Blah blah blah." He's telling his command officer or whatever what's going on, and then they tell him something we can't hear, and he reacts like, "What? Say, come again?" And at that moment, oh damn. So we see him get off the phone. I mean, he get off his walkie-talkie and he ups the gun at them niggas like, "Yo." And then from there, we like, "Oh shit, what the fuck?" He ups the gun on them. He tell them to get down or whatever. And he's like, "Yo, we just need help." Joel's like, "Yo, we just need help. We need help." And then, pop, 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 that nigga starts spraying. It don't show nobody get hit, but then you see the daughter and Joel rolling down this mountain, this hill that they're on, and they fucking fall to the floor. There, and I mean, the guy's coming over them. The military guy. What do you call him? A soldier. The soldier is walking over them with the knocks. He's standing over him at this point. And out of nowhere, he gets sniped. The brother shoots him, and then we see that the little girl has got fucking full of holes, bro. She got popped up. And I
Yeah.
was just like, yo, damn, bro. They did us dirty. They made us start liking this little girl in the first episode. This for her to get killed. Damn, they dirty for that.
Yeah, that was wicked.
Yeah, they was cutting onions during that, so I ain't gonna front. I was like, yo, damn. And then from there, We see 20 years later, which it goes to 2023, which is present day. Great
Yeah.
fucking show,
That,
man. I didn't even give up all everything else, but I mean,
I
shit, bro.
think
What do
that
you
part,
think?
how they start, I love how they started it, because it was like it was almost like it was like a cliffhanger, but they didn't leave you there.
Yeah, it was
They,
like they
like they
could have
left
ended
you
the
there.
episode there.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, and
It was
I
hard.
like that. I like that point you said. It was a cliffhanger because they extended it 20 years in the future,
Hmm.
but they don't explain. Like once the next scene we see, we don't really get any clarification of like it's clear that she's dead, but we didn't get any clarification of what transpired after that.
Right.
But
It goes into like what
where
what.
he's at now,
Yeah, yeah.
Joel. Shout out to my man Pedro Pascal. He plays Joel Miller. You know what I mean? Shout out to bro.
Seems like he's smoking his role too, man.
Yo, he's killing this role, bro.
I
Like,
love I love the set, the scene, the graphics, the production, everything, bro. Like shit just looks like a fucking shit look like a virtual reality world or something. Like
the metaverse or something. Nah,
oh,
they
it really looked like the end of the world. Like look apocalyptic. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like everything just went to shit.
they did it. They did it the right way, man. They did it the right way. And then even after that, after everything I just explained, after we just went through, there's still like another 35 minutes of the show left. Like 40 minutes. You know what I mean?
Yeah, writers and producers from Walking Dead, you guys should watch this.
Oh man, let's not even get on the Walking Dead. I used to be my shit until it wasn't anymore.
Yeah, after like season 2.
Yeah, it was pretty early. It
It
was early. It was pretty early on in the show where it was like, all right, what the fuck are y'all doing?
just started getting to the point where it's like, my nigga, where y'all niggas getting baby food from? Like, bro, now y'all
They
niggas
having new
pushing it.
babies.
And then you having more babies. Like, where y'all finding all this extra fucking
Healthy babies too. Birth during the apocalypse with no
right?
hospitals, no surgeon, no, know what I mean, no nurse practitioner, just giving
Goddamn,
birth in the woods. Healthy
we
baby.
might we might as well all just go back to the Stone Age, huh?
That shit was cool, man. But shout out to The Last of Us. We will be discussing this shit every episode. So go ahead and strap in, y'all. You know what I'm saying? We're gonna be talking about this shit every motherfucking week. You know what I'm saying? Shout out to even in a post-apocalyptic zombie world, it's still niggas selling drugs. You know what I mean? That was an interesting part of the shit too, because Joel, he made friends with this one of the soldiers. I forget how, and he's dealing them drugs basically. He's basically dealing drugs to a bunch of people, to the soldiers, so he get info and know when not to be on the streets. You know what I mean? He gave the soldier that, I think he gave him some weed or some shit. No, he got the weed from the soldier, I'm actually, which was for a whole other play that he was setting up. But the soldier told him, yo, for the next few days, don't come outside, man. Shit about to get fucked up. Stay your ass in the crib. Don't bring your ass back out here. And then we see Joel go to, I don't know who homie is, but he's like a dude that is getting radio messages from, I guess, different places around the world. So he got a line full of people that's waiting to see him. Joel just skips the line, walks up in the spot. And basically he goes and gives the weed to the homie, to the dude that's giving all this news, because he probably know him or whatever. And he lets him know he basically got the weed so he can give him information about his brother if his brother's still alive. Shit's pretty good, man.
Man,
Powerful scene, man. That scene where he's like, yo, well, I'm sure your brother's alive, man. And he's like, all right, you sure he's alive? All right, show me a map of where he could be. And the guy, the radio man is like, I don't know, man. It's the least of your worries are these zombies. Like it's slavers out there, it's this out there, all this shit going on. So Joel tells him, oh, and you're sure my brother's okay? Like, oh yeah, nigga, you trying to get me up? Like, nah, like this is fucking powerful, bro. I love this fucking show, and I only see one episode, nigga. I'm on board, man. I'm on board, bro. I'm on board, bro. What do you think? What do you think is since we ain't got Marz here to really kind of outline what does happen, or I mean, give us some insight. Where do you see this shit going, man? Like,
Ah, man, to be honest with you, uh, I didn't want to spoil it too much for myself, so I didn't tap too much into like the video game too behind that started from. But uh, I'm getting Resident Evil, Dawn of the Dead. Uh, uh, it's one more thing I'm missing. It's one more movie I'm missing.
Dawn of the Dead, Resident Evil, 28 Days Later.
Yeah, that's the. Oh my god! Yeah, perfect.
Yeah, yep.
Right
Because
on the
these are
money.
like fast moving zombies. This ain't no slow like shit. These
Right.
zombies are, and this is the thing. Like they're not zombies. Like I think that was why the beginning scene was so important because they're basically explaining what's happening. They're letting you know that this all started with a parasite that no a fungi that evolved to where now they're controlling the host. They're controlling the person that they're actually, you know what I mean, who is the current turning into this zombie, but not zombie in the sense of slow undead. They're still alive, but they're being controlled by something else.
Right.
So I thought that was cool. This was something that I've picked up on before we move on. Just watching on the internet, seeing different people's theories and shit. And there's a lot of them out there. That's why next week we're gonna have our resident podcaster. We're gonna have Marz on here to give his insight and his backstory about it. But a couple of videos I seen with them explaining something called the bread theory. So they're basically saying uh Indonesia was the area where this shit started, and that was the importance of why they discussed it early on in the video, because this is where that parasite lived. I mean, early on in the series, they were saying the bread is what caused this pandemic. Because if you remember, he mentioned like, Indonesia, and then later on when it cuts from that scene, it shows them wanting to make pancakes, but they didn't have the flour to make the pancakes. You know what I mean? Which would have been the first indicator of, oh shit, they almost got infected. Then second scene where they go outside and the woman is offering them biscuits. Again, they're like, nah, we good. And then we see, fast forward, they got infected. And then
Uh,
Indonesia, they talking about, you know what I mean? This is where I was saying when he went to the shop, when she went to the shop to get the watch, the Lebanese people, they must have got word because they knew it was close to Indonesia or whatever. They must have known, like, oh, the bread is bad. So that's why she was panicking, like, yo, we got to get the fuck up out of here. There's some shit going on the other side of the world. There's some shit going down. We got to get up out of here. So it was like, it's connections people are trying to make to, oh, maybe it was the bread. Maybe the parasite got into the bread. So that's why people, if you're just eating bread in your regular day, you know what I mean? And that's why when homie was at the bar, the brother was like, yo, somebody started wilding out on the bartender. I had to put him down. Maybe I don't remember what he said specifically, or maybe he might have indicated like, yo. But then you think about it, you're thinking about beer is yeast and shit in beer and wheat. Like it could be bread and that shit too. Like it could be. It's just following that theory. I want to see if they touch on it anymore, or if that's an actual thing. Like in the actual video game, if they eventually start touching on that, like, oh, it came from the bread. I thought that shit was pretty cool, man. Great show.
yeah. I'm tuned in, man.
Great show.
Every week.
Every motherfucking week.
Every week.
I mean, next we could do a quick little overview of Your Honor as well. You know what I'm saying? I know you said you caught up, bro. I didn't even know you caught up, my boy.
Yes, sir.
It's up to date. So season 2 started. Last week we mentioned it coming back. We didn't get a chance to see it last week, but quick overview. You know what I mean? I appreciate watching shows nowadays, and at the beginning they tell you last season on Your Honor, and you get to watch that whole little montage of everything that happened. Cause I be forgetting, bro. All these shows we watch, I be forgetting what the fuck happens in these shits. So
I wouldn't say I forget, but like certain the little key points. It's good to be refreshed on.
yeah, for sure. Cause then you get the refresher, and it starts coming back to you like, oh
Yeah,
yeah, I forgot that happened.
right.
So just a
Instead of
little
just throwing
bit,
on an episode and
yeah, and just
oh, what
starting up.
the fuck was his name?
Yeah, exactly. Oh, what the hell? What happened that last time we seen
Oh,
him? I don't
shit.
remember.
Damn, yeah, because didn't he shoot him?
Yeah. Uh-huh. And even more so, that last episode of the first season, it ended on a wild cliffhanger, bro. Let's talk about cliffhangers.
Bro, what the fuck type of cliffhanger was that?
That shit, man. I thought the show was going to be. I didn't even know they were coming back with a second season. I thought it was like one of those limited series things.
Man, I didn't even know what the fuck was that.
It was a complete blunder, bro.
What the
Homie tried to
fuck?
up the knocks and hit the wrong nigga.
Cause usually, hey, when I watch shit, I always if I'm really into it, even if I feel like it's stupid, I usually try to call even in my head sometimes, like I'll try to call what's gonna happen or how it's gonna end.
Yeah.
My nigga, I did not, I knew, because, he snuck in there and, his pops, it was the distraction, security ain't see him, he slid in with the gun and I didn't, nah,
I
bro,
didn't see it going there.
nah, bro. That was insane, man. That was insane, man.
Yeah.
Shout out to my nigga Justin, though.
Shout out to my nigga Kofi, man.
Oh, yeah.
My nigga Kofi Jones, boy.
Big bro.
R.I.P. man.
R.I.P. the boy, Kofi Jones.
While we on it, shout out to Coco Jones too. Hey,
Oh, yeah.
hey.
Yeah, just cause Coco.
I mean, Bel Air is coming back, so shit, rightfully so. But just quick,
Hey, wait, when
quick.
is that?
When does that come back? I definitely seen a new trailer came out. I didn't watch it, but
A new trailer. So like
oh, it premieres February 23rd, my boy.
they.
1 month. A month. It's gonna be so much shit that we gotta keep up with, bro. I don't think it's gonna be possible, but we gonna do it.
What you mean? I
Man,
do it on
shows.
I do it on a regular, man. So hey, it'll be fun.
It'll be fun, man. But Your Honor, we ain't even really got to get too much into it, man. We watching this shit. We love the show. Opening scene, I pay attention. The shows that I resonate with me, the opening scenes need it because you got to think when you creating anything, right? You making a song, you making a beat. However it starts is gonna be testament to whether people fuck with the entire thing or not. Even
Right.
after they listen to it, they can go back and be like, "Oh, that's why that beginning was like." It adds another layer to the creativity. So this opening scene, we see my man in jail. I don't even remember him going to jail last season. That's why it was kind of interesting for me. But you know what I mean? What's my man named Michael? Bryan Cranston's character. He's in jail,
Mm-hmm.
and he's in the hole or something. They got that nigga. He grew his hair out. I mean, he's on his Heisenberg shit, but the reverse. He got a full beard.
He's literally dying.
It looked like he was on the brink of death for real, bro.
He looked like a fossil.
You know when Bryan Cranston get into that bag, you know he on his super acting shit, bro. That's his
Get
shit.
that nigga award. Get that nigga award.
So, the opening scene, he's in a jail cell. They force feeding him and shit. That shit is hard to watch, bro. They forcing the tube. Oh, man, I can't even imagine having to go through that in real life, bro. Like, they put a tube in your fucking nose, bro.
That's different. That's
And it
different.
goes down to your stomach, and then you're just feeding you liquid. Like, oh.
But that's that's crazy if you have to go through that. But he didn't have to.
Yeah, he just didn't want to eat.
Like imagine that. Like, right. Like I feel like that's even worse. Like, bro,
you force this on
can eat.
yourself.
Yeah, bro, you dumbass.
He said it. Fuck what Julian Slowick said. Eat, nigga. He said don't. He said not. Don't not eat, nigga. Eat.
Yeah,
Oh
nigga,
man,
nigga
he
got
was wilding.
food inserted in him. That's
He was
weird.
wilding.
They turned your food into a milkshake
For real though,
and they inserted it into you. That's
forced you to eat it, man. Crazy. But shout out to
it's a sick world.
Jimmy Baxter. That nigga's a goddamn. That nigga's menacing on screen. The mob boss,
Yeah.
menacing.
Menacing?
In terms of like his facial expressions, like his maybe not menacing, but stoic. Maybe I don't know. He just has these looks that's like yo. It
I think he does a good job with the faces though, like his facial expressions. I think he's the whole look, his whole image, like the mob boss thing, like it's
it just
convincing.
fits him. Yeah, it's convincing for sure. Definitely.
Like I feel like that nigga do that in real life.
He might.
Like
I
he
think I
might,
seen him in something else that he was kind of similar.
yeah, he might professionally kill niggas.
Shout
But
out, shout out to Fia Baxter,
oh
little baddie.
yeah, just cause.
Just cause, you know what I mean? We shouting people out just cause, you know what I'm saying?
It's her birthday. Happy birthday, Fiat Baxter.
Hey, if it is or isn't, happy birthday, ma. You know she's in Yellowstone too. We mentioned Yellowstone. I didn't know she was in that. Apparently, she just kissed a bitch on that show.
Who
So
is
you know
this?
they had articles coming out about it.
Who is this girl?
She's in two really popular shows, and her Instagram is not what I think it would be.
Wow.
She,
Well,
she ain't got
salute to you, man.
many followers at all. Shout out to her.
Yeah, you out here kicking ass. Get her an award, please.
Yeah, go ahead and get Screen Man. Go in the back and get some awards out that cabinet.
What kind of bust my head too, though? I'm not going front. Was the whole okay? So before we get to that, okay, so he gets out of prison because
He snitched.
he's uh,
Well, I want to say snitch. He
in
told
line snitch.
he offered some information.
Right. He's working. He's working with the authorities. He's cooperating,
Cooperating. Yeah, let's go with that word.
but he can't speak on what he's doing. So
Yeah.
I think you know,
Oh, so
along
he's
with him
in.
finding out, Adam had the she had Fia had the baby, and he's a grand dad now. So it's like I think we're gonna like see like him struggle with like uh I guess finding where what he should protect in a sense because in a way Jimmy is his family now.
Yeah.
So I think we're gonna like kind of see how he struggles with like that, and I think we might see or learn like the dynamic between him and Jimmy. Like I think they might become some.
Closer.
Yeah,
It's interesting to see because when you think about it in reality, that's kind of how the justice system works. You got to think he was a judge prior to this, and it's funny that nigga got kicked out. He got kicked out the shit later in the episode. He
right.
like,
And
yo,
that's I think that was fire too. Like because when he got out, you kind of get to see, I guess, like the other side of things. Because he was like kind of like ostracized a bit
hmm
because of like what he was doing or what he did. I don't really
yeah.
that serious, but I guess it was a crime or whatever. But
It says
uh
he was in jail for tax evasion. Well,
it
I'm
was
reading
tax
here.
evasion.
That's what I'm reading here. It says he was in jail for tax evasion, and them feeding him was because he tried to commit suicide. He was on a hunger strike.
Yeah.
Yeah, so that was Well, it was a hunger strike, but yeah. But the what I was saying, it was interesting because the dynamic between the mob boss and the judge, typically, those are two people who are pitted against each other because judges are always wanting to be tough on crime and take down industry industries like that. You know what I mean? Mob crime shit. But now that because I didn't pick up on the part about the baby until like you just mentioned that.
Right, right,
Now
right.
I'm like, yo, actually, you just mentioned they actually family now. So I wonder, I do wonder how does that play out because we do see in real life these politicians and people in the court. That's how it works. Like it's based off of friendships and shit. That was
Mm-hmm.
how he was able to get Carlo off the first time. So it's interesting. In that same episode, you seen Carlo. This dumbass, he tried to go pull up on the Desire gang on some dolo shit. Cause the mom is toxic as fuck, bro. Like
Oh, that's another thing.
that's another aspect of it.
That's why I'm saying okay, so the thing uh between Jimmy and goddamn, what's the
White?
judge?
Oh, Michael?
Yeah,
Michael
Michael.
Desiato?
Yeah, I think I don't know if they'll become closer or what, but something is gonna happen between them, and I feel like it's gonna cause some sort of a like separation between Jimmy and his wife, which you kind of already seen a little bit.
Yeah, they giving us hinters of it to where this is when Carlo, they get him back. Michael, or after, the Desire lady, I forget her name, the head of the gang, she sends Carlo back, and Jimmy is there with the wife, and the wife is like, aren't we going to do anything? And he's like, yo, he just fucking did something. He fucked up. So what the fuck are you talking about? Like, shut the fuck up. Let me plan this. Let me do it the right way. You with this hothead energy, yo, go do something. You're not going to do something? You fucking us up. Shut the fuck up. Get out the way. I think it's going to turn into a Breaking Bad, bro. Like, just like how Walter White and Gus started out as like enemies, but then eventually it's actually reversed. They started out as business partners, and then he actually ended up killing the nigga at the end. But it was because of how the business was going. I think it's gonna be we see something that happens in the season as it goes by, where Michael and Jimmy, the mob boss, they're gonna have to be on the same page now. You know what I mean? They're gonna because now like he's not even a judge anymore, so
Nah.
he's gonna have to. You know what I mean? He's gonna have to get his. I don't know what it's gonna lead to, but
So
I agree.
I think the wife is gonna turn into the mad lady, and she's gonna end up turning up. She's gonna be,
Yeah.
I guess, what we assume Jimmy to be.
Yeah, exactly. Yep.
And
Hothead.
yeah, she's gonna be running shit like the Desire crew. Like what's Shorty name that run the Desire crew?
I don't even know. I don't even know what her. Oh,
She,
Big Mo. Big Mo. Her name
yeah,
Big Mo.
yeah, she's smoking that role. I fuck with
Yeah, she killing that shit, boy. She
her.
gangster as fuck.
Yeah. Yeah, the new episode, the episode 2, you get they kind of digging a bit more into her character too, like, and also like, did they show that in episode 2 or episode 1? Did they show? I might be confusing it. What did they show? What happened to Coffee's little brother in episode 1?
Coffee.
His little brother.
The homie at the end of the first season with the strap.
Yeah. His little. I forget his name.
They didn't show. I don't know. I think that was the end of episode 1 where they show him. I mean, he gave him money to go on the bus. You talking about that?
Right.
Yeah, because they were supposed to take him out, and I mean they were supposed to kill him, but then
I don't. Were they supposed to kill him, or were they supposed to bring him to?
well, yeah, which would be killing him. You know what I mean? Like she was supposed to. So yeah, that's what happened. It showed while he was giving him the money to get on the bus, that's when Big Mo called like, "Yo, we right here. Where you at? I don't see you." And then it turns out they was meeting with, I think Jimmy and them,
Right.
which indicates, oh shit, they were supposed to be turning him over. So like I mean, we even type shit now.
Right. Right.
Cause
And
that was the whole thing. The mom was like, "Yo, this little motherfucker is out on the streets and you ain't doing nothing, Carlo. You just gonna punch the punching bag." And she already on that weird mom like loving on her son type shit. I understand a mom's love, but this bitch is like overboard with it. Like she feeling on the nigga, hugging him from behind and shit. You can see she just on some she different.
but in episode 2 though, um, they kind of I don't know I like how I like how it happened, like how it turned out, like how he gave son the bread, and he was like, "Yo, little man," like he showed him the bus, you know what I mean?
Yeah,
He
like
was like,
yo,
"Yo,
don't come back around here.
yeah." But in episode 2, uh, they show him, my boy, he
Oh
found with
yeah,
his
that's what you're
school,
talking about. Yeah, that's when he pulled up on him, like when he was at the.
right? He
Yeah,
pulled
yeah,
up on
yeah.
him. I was like, wait, what the fuck? My boy, it
He
looked
was
like he working like
working.
a little coffee shop or something. He in
Yeah,
school, and he lives with son's aunt somehow. Like he connected him with his aunt, so
yeah.
that's who he's staying.
He got adopted by I think.
Right, and he changed his name to Justin, so his name is Justin now.
Yeah, I do remember that now. He was working behind the register, and I mean, he went to go give him the coffee, and it was his big bro.
Yeah, nah, I thought that was cool, man. I
I
don't
forgot
really
about
know.
that.
I don't know what was his agenda. Well,
Intentions.
yeah, it's kind of looking like you got to see the new episode though. But he
I
got
seen
tired.
some of it. I just didn't finish it. You know what I mean?
Yeah. It's definitely it's more building into it. The writing in the shows is crazy, bro.
Yeah, nah, it's really good. I just peeped. Bryan Cranston directed the season finale of last season. Holy shit.
Nah, he's a beast. He's gonna get an award. What the fuck?
Yeah, he gonna get an award. Shout out to if y'all watching the Last of Us and Your Honor, we'll be reviewing those. Go ahead and make sure you catch up or not. You know what I'm saying? Shout out to the both of them shows. But
We
let's
gonna
go ahead
tap.
and end up with these quick hit sport topics, man. I think we can
Hey,
finish off with that. I
what we
just
got?
want to say, man, shout out to them Cowboys once again. We got a big
Man,
game this weekend.
man, listen, man.
Big game
Yeah.
this weekend.
All I'm gonna say is, dog, y'all beat the 49ers. I'm scared.
We beat the 49ers. That's it. We going to the Super Bowl. I don't care if the Giants win, if the Eagles win. We going to the Super Bowl, boy. But it's gonna be a tough battle. For the 49ers are beastie, man. Both for off. I'm more scared of the offense than their defense, and I think their defense is like number one in the league. Even with a rookie quarterback, like
Mhm.
is I don't know, but I think I might put some money on this game because I'm feeling the Cowboy. This is what I got to see how the first quarter goes. I got to see what Dak looking like. I got to see how you know what I'm saying if the defense is healthy. But I'm excited. How you think your Eagles gonna do, my boy? You think the Giants? You think they can handle the Giants?
My nigga, what?
You think they can handle the Giants, my boy? The G
Man,
men?
only thing I'm worried about going forward is my boy Jalen Hurts. How,
Niggas hurt for real.
yeah, I'm trying to see, how they gonna monitor this, and hey, I don't know what we gonna do, bro. I don't know what we're gonna do because I feel like our backup is not. He's not it.
What is the backup? Gardner Minshew?
Yeah, Minshew, man.
I think it was turning up when he was on the Jags for a couple
Bro,
of
I was
weeks.
about to say that. Like, I thought he had. Man, it might have been just highlights or something, man.
I like culture.
I never watched the whole game, but dude,
I
like, you
never
know what
watched
I'm
the whole Jaguars game. Period.
saying? Yeah,
How you think they gonna fare? How you think they gonna hold up against the Chiefs?
the Jags. I think they know this is their time to go. Like, I
Yeah,
think they know that they fought hard, and
they.
that this is not the hill that they'll over. Like, they'll get over. Like, this is it for them,
I
in
think
my opinion.
I think them and the Giants are in like the perfect position because they weren't supposed to be here. So it's like whether they lose or win, it don't really matter. And if they
Yeah,
win, it's even better.
that's
But if
almost
they
how
lose,
Eli
it's
won
gonna be
last
like
time.
you said what?
That's almost how Eli won last time.
Like that's exactly how that nigga won last time. They weren't supposed to be there. It was like 9-7 that season. But we gonna see, man. A couple of other. This is just going back to a couple of games that was on this past week. The Warriors were playing the Cavaliers. I'm not sure if you've seen the game. The game wasn't that interesting. Steph wasn't there. Klay Thompson was out. They had a lot of injuries. So Jordan Poole was the guy, and I mean he was cooking. He was balling for them. But at one point during the game, him and Steve Kerr might have had like a little disagreement after Jordan Poole got hit with a technical foul because he was doing some dumb shit like chirping at a point where it wasn't necessary. And then they showed footage that was caught on the camera of Steve Kerr like getting on him like, "Yo, Jordan, what the fuck, man? We got to be better than this. We got to do this." And then Poole says something back to him, but it wasn't really much there. It wasn't a thing. But however, this highlight culture we talk about, House of Highlight, shout out to them. They put that video with the caption and the screenshot saying Steve Kerr had some choice words for Poole after technical foul. And I love how immediately Curry came to the defense of Poole, the team, the coach, and just looking out for the future of kids. So he said, "Yo, hey, for all the kids watching this clip, Coach Kerr coaching like he should. Jordan Poole taking the energy the right way. Both of them moved on and tried to win the game. House of Highlights, make sure you show how Jordan Poole bounced back after this." I appreciate him checking them in that moment because that could have spun a narrative. Because we already know we seen Jordan Poole get punched by Draymond. And a lot of these narratives in the world now were created based off of like 1-2 second clips. People see a clip, people see a little highlight, a little piece of information and form a whole opinion. And some of them shits grow legs. So I thought it was cool that Curry was like, "Yo, we're going to put an end to this shit right now." Because this is a potential kid, like he said, for the kids watching this clip, kid might watch the clip and see Jordan Poole, what it looks like he's chirping back at his coach and might think that shit is cool. You know what I mean? He might think that's what they should do. KD just tweeted and said, "Yo, when he was younger, he would just watch what the pros would do and imitate them." So I thought it was important for Curry to be like, "Yo, nah, let's dead that shit right here. House of Highlights, shame on you." You know what I mean? And then, corny, just how it is. They got checked. And at the end, like the next day, this morning, they put up a post of Curry's tweet. I mean, of Curry's response,
Mm-hmm.
saying on some like, "Oh, actually, let me go pull up exactly what they said because it was corny, like as if they didn't know what they were doing and they got caught and they try to act like, oh, this is what we meant to do." Oh, they put up Curry, "We heard you." Like, get the fuck out of here, bro. Like, y'all got checked. And now you wanted to apologize, which is, I mean, they did the right thing, but it's always funny seeing that shit play out. That shit was
Yeah.
cool. Thought that shit was interesting, man. And I mean, of course, he also got LeBron and that. So we had that game too. LeBron versus the Grizzlies, the Lakers versus the Grizzlies. That shit got intense, both on the court and off the court.
Bro, I didn't know what that was gonna turn into. Cause first off, why niggas keep getting into it with this that Dylan Brooks nigga, man? Nigga looks like a fucking worm or something, man.
Yeah, I don't know why he be talking like he. Know what I mean, he be talking like he
And
got.
why niggas be even, bro? Why is it a thing that he talks? Like, who cares that he's talking, bro? Let him talk, bro. Like, why everybody act like that shit annoying, dog? But
LeBron ain't like that shit, boy. He said, "You
yeah,
ain't playing ball, nigga. You talking shit. I don't fuck with me like that. This is your last time talking shit."
Braun, yeah.
And then you see what he did to play right after that. He did some typical, usual LeBron
Like,
shit, ran court to court from end to end, just banged it on the whole team.
bro,
Banged it on their head. It looked like Vince's Braun on Miami, where you know the video game Braun, where you could literally get the ball inbound and just go from one court to the other side of the court and just dunk on niggas with no, like, they had no hope, no chance. He just put them niggas in the basket. Crazy.
oh
That,
yeah, I don't know. Braun was ready to fight.
yeah, I ain't never seen him like that.
Nah, he was ready to brawl.
And he was like, "Yo, this is your last time talking shit to me, bro."
Bro, them Grizzlies, bro. I'm trying to tell you, bro. It's like a bunch of kids on the team, like
It
a
is.
bunch of
It's
kids
it's a bunch of that
talking.
era of kids. Like they
Eh,
all in that age. That all that. You know what I mean? They just this is the. But you gotta think about it, bro. Think about that. Like this is the future of the league we about to see. You got and we're going back to that, and we going and going back to the Austin Rivers clip. He was saying like, "Yo, it got players that's in the league right now that play like this." Like he said he didn't want to give no names, but I know a couple of names just off the top. Like fucking Trey Young is one of them niggas. Got mad talent, but he looks for highlights instead of playing the game to win. That's why he'll never. I mean, as of now, how he's playing, he not gonna win no rings or nothing, bro. I mean, a lot of people aren't, but he may not. He may be forgotten after a while. Niggas try to compare him with Steph for a couple of seasons because he was hitting threes. Steph quickly put that shit to bed. Anytime Steph play that nigga, he make it a point to be like, "Oh yo, this the nigga y'all saying is the next me? Let me show you why I'm the only me." Remember the All-Star game? Like they was going back and forth shooting threes, and Steph just ended that. Like, yo, all right, you hit a couple, my boy, but let me show you how this is really done. I think this is just the where the league is going. It's going toward that style of basketball where it's like real. You gotta think all these little niggas know each other growing up anyway, playing basketball, AAU, and all that. So you get to the league, you just think you hooping with your homies and talking shit.
yeah,
I don't know. That same game though, we seen Shannon, Uncle Shay Shay,
this
Uncle
nigga
Shannon. That nigga
almost
got into it. He was about to power bomb a nigga on the court.
he almost he almost had to overthrow Aquaman.
And look how it started. Dylan Brooks again. Now I mean, Dylan Brooks walking off the court talking shit. How you talking shit to Shannon Sharp? Like what? And then he came out and said some slick shit afterward. I ain't gonna repeat it, but he tried to
He
say
tried
some
to call
slick
him
shit
like
about
a pedestrian or something.
Bird. Yeah, he tried to call this nigga
He's a
out. Like,
weirdo. He's a weirdo, bro. That's why I'm like, why is he even? Why y'all interviewing him for what? Like,
like,
that's not
bro,
even. Y'all try to make that a thing now for what?
but that's where basketball is now, bro. Like,
The Lakers won.
exactly. I want to say the Lakers won the game. Why do we gotta hear what this nigga gotta say? You're not even the third option on the team. You actually asked, bro. We like Desmond Bain is that dude, and he be talking shit. Like, you know what I'm saying? But shout out to the Grizzlies. They the team of the future, but we know how them shits go. If they could keep the team together, they'll be all right. I'm not sure if they'll win because you still got to get past the Warriors, but we gonna see, man. Shout out to LeBron. He's getting closer to Kareem on that scoring, passing him up on the scoring lead all time. I think he got like a couple, like 300 more points to get past him. That's a few more games. I mean, that would be it. Shout out to Toby and Wigway. My man was on Jimmy Fallon. Beautiful to see that shit. You know what I mean? He had the whole family up there, of course. His family and their life is the show. And
Yeah,
it's a beautiful thing because they're not putting on. They just living their lives through music and entertainment. And they doing it the right way. They got their own aesthetic. He don't sound like nobody. Everybody, the real ones, fuck with him. You know what I mean? Like he got a song with CeeLo, my nigga. Like CeeLo, I ain't even seen CeeLo Green put nothing out recently or feature on a nigga shit. Got on Toby project though. Chameleonaire, like just shout out to Toby. He doing this shit the right way. He doing this shit
Man.
the right way, man.
Hey, real quick, before we get up out of here though, let me get your predictions, man. It's the playoffs. Um, this weekend, who you know what I mean?
All right, I got Cincy. I got Cincy over the Bills.
Okay.
That's I think that's gonna be pretty
You
easy for
don't
them.
think you don't think Buffalo bringing that home?
Nah, I don't think Buffalo got it. Joe Burrow is just he different, man. When it comes to the playoffs, I think he different. I think he proved himself. At the beginning of the season, it was still like, oh, was it a fluke? They was comparing this nigga to like Joe Flacco, saying like, yo, I mean, he didn't win the Super Bowl, but they were saying him making it there was like luck. So
Nah, that nigga nice, bro. I
yeah,
don't.
nah, I know, I know, I fuck with Joe, I fuck with the boy.
He like one of them smart type quarterbacks though. Like he,
Good IQ.
yeah, yeah, yeah. I don't know.
Uh,
I think that's gonna be a really good game.
yeah, it's gonna be good. I got the final being 24-21 Bengals.
Yeah.
I got the Chiefs over the Jags, but I'm interested to see how that game plays out. I think the Chiefs are going to win, but I think it's going to be closer than the scoreboard might say. I think they might win by like maybe 10 points. I'm gonna say it'll be 24-14, but I think that last 10 points that they score is going to be like some late game shit. I think it's going to be close up until third quarter, fourth quarter coming. Prediction. I got that Eagles Giants game being pretty good too. I want to say I want to put the Giants over the Eagles, but I just can't do that. It don't make sense, and I ain't that much of a hater. But I got the Eagles beating them. I don't know how good that game is going. I mean, I think that's going to be pretty good. It's going to be a pretty good game. And I'm biased here. I got the Cowboys beating the Niners. I'm afraid. Honestly, I think the Niners' offense is better than their defense, and I think they were ranked number 1 this year. But that offense, man, like Debo Samuels, Christian McCaffrey, like they got hitters out there. And then Nick Bosa, wasn't he? I think he was like defensive player. He got some like award, not award, but he was known for something he did this season. I can't remember off the top of my head without looking it up. But I'm thinking. So for the Giants Eagles, I think Eagles are going to win. I'm gonna give them 21-10 over the Giants. I think the Giants are only going to score 1 touchdown. And I'm gonna say the Cowboys. Fuck it. I'm saying the game is gonna be 30-24 Cowboys. Let's go. It's my predictions. Bold prediction. So I got Chiefs, Bengals, Cowboys, and Eagles. That's what I think, man. That's what I think. That's what I think, man.
That's yeah. That's some. I think I agree a little bit on some of them. Yeah.
Yeah, so it's gonna be interesting, man. It's gonna be interesting. But once again, we appreciate y'all fucking with us with another week of this crack in the 80s. You know what I mean? We gave y'all another long episode. Pause. You know what I'm saying? We about to hit that 2-hour mark again. But I think y'all been appreciated. I've been seeing an uptick in the listeners go up. So maybe y'all been appreciating this shit. So shout out to y'all. We're gonna be back next week. Marz is gonna be back next week. Drvgz will be back next week. And I'm gonna be back next week, man. This motherfucking crack in the 80s.